What is going on, YouTube, and what is going on, Workhorse investors? As if there's already not enough news and anticipation building for this company, they had to go and drop a bomb on us today with some absolutely amazing information and some steps in the right direction moving forward. So if you're interested in Workhorse and this information that leads to a lot more doors, I suggest you stay tuned right after this. Before we really dive into this information from Workhorse, I ask that you guys smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, comment down below, and let's get into the video. I'm telling you what, I'm bringing it today. I am absolutely pumped. I wake up, I open my phone, and what do I see? Workhorse news. And it's positive. It's a positive catalyst. Some people look at it as a negative. I don't see why it's a negative. It shows that they are taking $200 million, turning it into a convertible note, and they are going to use that $200 million to put it into ramping up production. Now, as I start to think about that, what are they going to need production for? And what are they going to need production in mass amounts for? Well, there's a United States Postal Service contract, and then there's everything else that is behind that deal. Now, as you start to think about it, I'm going to connect some dots for you as I go through this video. So, first thing we're going to do is talk about the $200 million, and we're going to talk about where that money is actually going to go and where it came from. So, swinging on over here, it says on Monday, the company entered into a no purchase agreement worth $200 million, which will allow it to sell 4% of its senior secured convertible notes due 2024 to two institutional lenders. Those institutional lenders have yet to be, obviously exposed. The money will be used to increase and accelerate production volume. And then it says, on top of that, as if it doesn't get any better, and advance new products to market. Well, as I start to connect some more dots, I'm starting to think, well, what new products have they talked about pushing to production, pushing to the market? We'll get to that. So continuing on, and as if Dwayne Hughes doesn't just really solidify this, put the icing on the cake, with this financing in place, we can more quickly advance our production efforts heading into 2021. That right there should hype you up as a Workhorse investor, especially if you are looking long term. I'm pumped. And then he continues to say, quickly advance our production efforts heading into 2021 by increasing our supply chain components volumes, hiring more manufacturing employees, and automating certain sub-assembly processes, said Workhorse CEO Dwayne Hughes. That right there just speaks volumes. One thing that I really think is important that this article puts into perspective is in comparison to the likes of Amazon. And obviously we understand Amazon has been dealing with Rivian, who is not a public company, and they have been, outsourcing them for obviously their electrical vehicle delivery service. And obviously we know what Amazon is doing when it comes to deliveries. So that is actually a pretty good comparison when you're talking United States Postal Service contract, going after a smaller electrical vehicle company, and what to expect. So swinging over here, this latest funding brings legitimacy to Workhorse's business and to electric service vehicles as a whole. Amazon.com recently showed its electric delivery van ordered from Rivian. Workhorse is currently waiting to hear of a bid for vehicles from the USPS for electric delivery vehicles. The company recently signed an intellectual property licensing agreement with EV startup Lordstown Motors. Workhorse stock traded higher by 4.8% to $28.08 at publication time. As if this information doesn't get any better. Oh, wait, there is more. So it's time to swing over here so I can hype you up a little more. So it says Workhorse has also forged an agreement with an unnamed holder of its existing 4.5% convertible notes to exchange the $70 million outstanding principal for shares of the company's common stock. After this transaction, Workhorse will have more than $270 million in cash available. That is so significant. Continuing on. As for the notes being purchased, they will initially be convertible into common stock by the holders at $36.14 a share, which in my eyes is very significant as well, because our 52-week high is only $30 and I believe 99 cents. We'll touch on that once we hit the chart, but I know for a fact it's not past $30. And so it continues to say a 35% over Friday's closing price. That is 35% over where it closed on Friday. And like I said, that is past the 52-week high. That's very significant. The interest rate may be reduced to 2.75% under certain conditions. Workhorse has the option to make interest payments in cash or stock, which I also think is very important as well. Man, this is absolutely amazing news. I pulled some information from thestreet.com and they wrote up a very, very good article. A lot of it was very similar to the Bazinga's article, but I don't know if the Street dove a little more with Dwayne Hughes or if they were able to pry just a little bit more in their article, but they were able to get just a little bit more information, and I think it's the most impactful, obviously, besides the fact that they are ramping up production and they are going to have $270 million in cash on hand. This next piece, I think, as a long-term investor, is just absolute mind-blowing, and I've kind of predicted it a little bit. I just don't know the company, and that's what I'm excited to see, who it's going to be with, because I do know that they are working behind the scenes. I've been doing my research, and obviously, I just don't know exactly who the company is yet, but this will kind of give you a little bit of a boost as a long-term investor. So it says, and this is from Dwayne Hughes, the CEO of Workhorse, "We can also accelerate our production timeline for new high-demand customer products, including a refrigeration truck for grocery applications, as well as purpose-built Class 2 delivery van," Hughes added. So I want to dissect this and break this down for you just a little bit. So it says that they can accelerate our production timeline for a new high-demand customer products. So in my mind, when they're talking about including refrigeration truck, they have talked about, bringing out a prototype of refrigeration by the end of this year. If that prototype is successful and people have already, started really being interested in that prototype, they test it out, it does, what the company is asking of it, then they're able to ramp it up. Because it's a high demand product, they can ramp that product up, because in my mind, Workhorse is the only all-electric vehicle that can be sold in all 50 states and has passed CARB emissions, test. Man, this has got me pumped. That right there tells me a ton of information. If you have not watched up to this part of the video, I highly recommend watching to this part of the video. Continuing on with exactly what they said. They are also going to have built Class 2 delivery vans. That is the piece that I think is very, very significant when you're competing against the likes of an Amazon, but then also competing against the likes of Ford and Oshkosh when you're talking USPS contract. These vans are going to be able to go in places that the C1000 may not necessarily need to go or be able to go. And, tight windows, tight alleyways, places that have docking places that the C1000 cannot reach. These Class 2 delivery vans are going to be massive. I'm telling you. And I will show a picture right now. I am so excited for this. And for them to release this information and be able to just talk about it has me hyped as a long-term investor. It makes me want to not only purchase more stocks, but hold even longer, because they have a vision, and I knew it was there, and I just needed to hear it. There it is. I can 1000% assure you this will not be my last Workhorse video, and this will not be the last piece of information I provide on this. This company is obviously growing, and obviously they are announcing that information now. I just can't tell you the excitement as a long-term investor to hear it from the top of the company, to literally say we are accelerating production for this. We are accelerating our production timeline for new high-demand customer products, which are including refrigeration truck for grocery applications. When I start to think of all the things that require grocery-style refrigeration, the opportunities are endless. I mean, they truly, truly are. You got to think Walmart. You got to think the likes of Target. You got to think of all the convenience stores like Dollar Tree, Dollar General, all the gas station convenience stores that require refrigeration. I mean, I can just think of everything that is an opportunity for that. And then they are building a Class 2 delivery van. Once again, the opportunities are endless. So many delivery services and so many companies out there need and use a delivery style van. And for Workhorse to be able to start not only producing those vehicles, but they are consistently adamant that they are going to ramp up and accelerate production. Now we're starting to understand the deal with Hitachi. Now we're starting to understand why they are solely, heavily relying on Lordstown's plant as an option. And so it's all starting to connect. The dots are lining up, and we are getting a beautiful picture. I'm seeing it. As a long-term investor, I'm holding for the long term. I'm telling you what, the train is going to keep on rolling. And we have come to my favorite part of any video, and that is chart breaking down time. So let's swing on over here and see what Workhorse is all about. Today, it opened at $27.98. It got as high as $30.59. So close to that 52-week high. Its low was $26.28. Its volume today was through the roof. Volume was 79.84 million. Market cap is 2.794 billion. 52-week high is $30.99. 52-week low is $1.31. Average volume is 21.79 million. As you can see, that volume is ramped up. It closed today down 0.71%. That was at $26.58, but in the after hours it climbed 0.79%, finishing out the day at $26.79. As you can see, this one-day chart, it started off actually, in a good direction, and it kind of stayed consistent for about 2 hours after the market opened. And then as the rest of the day trended on, it seemed to just go in the downward direction. Now, if that's shorts getting in, or if it's because of the $200 million note announcement, it is what it is. I mean, we obviously have the chance for the United States Postal Service contract being announced on October 13th. But in my eyes, after they announce what their intentions are for that $200 million, and it's going to be $270 million of cash on hand, them talking about ramping up production, and then also talking about, future items at which they're going to be using some of this for, I'm sold, and I've been sold. And so if they don't get the United States Postal Service contract tomorrow, and let's say that the stock tanks, it goes way down, that's going to give me a buying opportunity. As a long-term investor, I see it, I understand it, I'm getting in more. I absolutely appreciate you guys swinging by and checking out this video. I do want to remind you, I am not a financial advisor, and anything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, and I am absolutely hoping you guys were entertained. And that's exactly what I'm here to do, entertain you. And you guys know how I do it. If you like this video, smash that like button. It helps out absolutely tremendously. It truly, truly does. And you guys know, if you enjoy the content, because I'm going to keep the content flowing, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as always, have a good day. Let's go, man. Let's go. This video got me hyped.